Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about our Week 2 Stats Review quiz to make sure you are ready to do amazing on it. So this quiz covers correlation, Spearman nonparametric correlation, chi-square, independent samples t-test, and the ANOVA. You will have one of each type of these questions. It is open notes, open book. Just make sure to include all JASP statistical output in a Word document and submit it as the last question in the quiz. So basically you're going to take all of your JASP output from each one of your 5 questions and put it in a Word document, and there will be a place for you to submit it at the end of your quiz. It is due Sunday of week 2, and normally I wouldn't release this until the Monday before the quiz is due, but I'm opening it early so that way you all can get a jump start. So some getting started information. Once you open the quiz, you can go in and out of it as much as you want, as long as you do not submit the quiz. So do not submit it until you are finished. You need to type out your answers in a Word document and then transfer them into your quiz. And why I recommend this is that it's to prevent you from potentially losing your work or answers. I have had a couple of students who their internet went out while they were doing the quiz, and they lost everything they had been typing directly into Blackboard. So that's why I recommend put it in a Word document, and then you can copy and paste it. Then you don't have to worry about losing your work. Once you do copy and paste it over though, double check that the statistical letters that need to be italicized are still italicized. I've heard from a few students that it doesn't always copy and paste over perfectly. So double check your work in Blackboard before you copy it over, because I would hate for you to lose a point or something because you just didn't have the italicized work show up when you copied and pasted it. Once again, add all JASP output to the Word document with your answers. You must submit the file with all of your JASP output to the last question on the quiz. Here's a big one. Do not rely on your knowledge from previous statistics courses or what you find on the internet. Review the live course presentations as well as the handouts and videos in the statistics review folder in weeks 1 and 2. Everything you need to complete this quiz successfully can be found there. So I'm just going to take a minute right now to make sure you know where that is. So if you come up here, you will find a statistics review for week 2, same as week 1. If you click on this, you will see that for each type of test, I have a handout in the video. As you're doing the quiz, if you just go through the handout and exactly what's included in the video, you will be golden. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and open up the chi-square one just to show you really quick. Okay, so here's the chi-square example. So I show exactly how to work through a chi-square test. Now, if you're like, well, but I don't have the hypothesis, and because it's not provided here, that's what the video is for. But I do show exactly what you need to do in JASP to get this answer. I then explain exactly how to interpret the p-value, Cramer's V, and then what your written results will look like. Now, I'm not just going to give that to you. You do need to look at the video. But if you look at the video, and so you let's fast forward it just a little bit there, you can see I provide exactly what you need to have for the hypothesis. This is the exact type of wording. So for each of these tests, I provide the exact wording that you need to use for that type of test. Very important right there. Then if you come to the very end, so maybe we need to go a little bit further. Come on. Okay, so then you can see I also provide the written results. So when I say I need the results in APA format, these written results are exactly what I'm talking about. So your final answer for the quiz, other than you do need to include the hypothesis, you would include your null and alternative hypothesis, and then you would provide these written results. This is APA format. This is the type of information I'm exactly looking for. And I've got this for each one of the tests on the quiz. You just have to go through and find it. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. I just wanted to make sure that you understood the handouts and these videos. Also, I would recommend, it's not as much of a deal. It is a little bit for week 1. I don't talk as much about information that's going to be on the week 2 quiz in week 2. But if you go to communicate and click up here, you can see the recordings. So go to those recordings, and those are the recordings that you're going to want to watch to make sure that you are all ready for the quiz. So coming back down here, review the live course presentations. So for this one, I specifically recommend watching week 1. Week 2 might not help as much, but maybe it will. But definitely for this quiz, watch the week 1 live presentation. If you already attended, that's fine. You do not need to rewatch it. And check out the handouts and videos. And those are these are right here. Now these are the exact same ones as found in week 1, so if you already did it in week 1, you're good to go, but if not, make sure and check those out. So once again, some hints, tips. Make sure your hypothesis is written correctly. I provide examples. Use them. Make sure your statistical results are in APA format. These are things you're going to be exactly graded on. Italicize all important statistical letters. Clearly state if the statistical results are significant, not significant, and if you reject, fail to reject the null. Another, mission critical. Include any needed supplemental results. For example, Levine, post hoc testing, Shapiro-Wilk, whatever's appropriate for that test. So for example, if you're doing an ANOVA, make sure you include that important needed information. So for the ANOVA, what you would want to include is the post hoc, well, if needed. So if you don't need it, right, if the results aren't significant, you wouldn't include post hoc. If the results are significant, you'd include post hoc, you'd include Levine, and if the results are significant, you'd want to talk about Cohen's d. So that's just kind of an example for the supplemental extra results. Once again, the use of JASP is mandatory, and providing JASP output for each question is mandatory. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please let me know.